platform guests, whoever is joining us today. If you're joining us wherever you're joining us from, this is the Button on Liberia. My name is Jamal Kamara. I'm one of your hosts tonight. With me, we have my colleague, that's Mark Judafar, and we also have tonight with Paul Chulople. We'll be bringing today a special edition of the Button on Liberia from Europe. We'll be talking about the event coming up in Germany in July. So we'll be bringing our guest tonight who will be telling us all what in the package in Germany. That's from the 8th to the 9th of July. So that will be the head of the media and communication will be telling us all about what he have for us on the menu. So tonight, guys, welcome from live from Sweden. Mark, welcome tonight.
Thank you, Brother Jamal, and thanks, Brother Paul. It's a pleasure to be with you guys.
Okay, and we have, thank you. That's our brother Mike Kai from Sweden. He's always one of our hosts on this show. So tonight we also have our Mima himself, the RC, we call it the regional commander, Paul Chulople, also tonight with us. Before we bring our guest, we would like to hear from Paul. How is it live from London?
Well, good evening from my end, and good afternoon to our listening audience, and good night to everybody across the world. What a morning, afternoon. I'm great. London is great. It's beautiful today. The Queen Platinum Jubilee, we've been celebrating a lot of street parties, so a lot of drinking, a lot of eating. So we're happy to have our old lady who, have done well. It's all about celebration today. And I'm also happy that the situation in Liberia today have finally come to the nonsense has finally come to an end. So yes, I'm cool. So before we bring in our guests, I just want to ask our listening audience to share the show. But before we do that, we want to play some music here to take us through while we're sharing the show. So if that is okay with you, Jamal?
Yeah, go on.
Great. Give me a second. So, but how Manchester, while I'm looking for this video?
Well, Manchester is the city of football, and they call it where football is a religion. So at the moment, we're doing okay, and the weather is really good. And we really celebrating the Queen's 70th anniversary as the Queen on the throne. So that's a big thing here. So everybody is really moving around, having fun. This is a weekend, nice in Manchester. Good to be here.
Okay, let me play this while we're sharing the link.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer, no work, or people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the for us. We tired with their promises that let us do all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we both tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So I said they lie.
Okay, welcome back.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to welcome you to this special edition of The Borderland Liberia. My name is Jamal Kamara. With me today is Paul Chuluple. We also have, as one of our hosts tonight, Mr. Mike Judafai. He's from Sweden. He's going to be one of our. We have three hosts tonight to be talking you through with the unfolding development in Liberia. But before we go through, we have a special guest tonight. The special guest is there. We're talking about what's going to happen in Germany. The political leader and also the standard bearer of ANC, Mr. Cummings, will be coming to Germany. And we have somebody to take us through, to tell us what is in the special package that we're going to deliver in Germany in July from the 8th to the 9th. So this time, we have the person who is heading the communication, media and communication, by the name of Mr. Augustus God Tume. He's a popular face on the Facebook, on the network, social media. He has a show called, probably be following, called Spice It Up. And also you've been having, he hosted like Nathaniel Barnes, a political aspirant in Liberia. I want a very well-known face in Liberia, and also Adolphus Wedding, who is a human rights lawyer. He's been hosting it recently. So once again, welcome, Mr. Tume. How are you today, sir?
Greetings to you there in Manchester, and greetings to you in London, and to the dear brother Far in Sweden. Good evening. I'm doing well, and thanks for bringing me on.
Thank you very much. Just before we go through to the nitty-gritty, we want you to tell us, introduce yourself to the audience, who you are. Who is Augustus God Tume? Tell a little bit. Let the audience know your bit.
Okay, you've called the name right. The name is Augustus God Tume, and Tume is a household name in Liberia, and I hail from Maryland County, and I'm a student of politics. I at first read courses in petroleum engineering, and practically I have practiced most of that life. So I enjoyed that time, but then later on I switched to political science because of my personal interest. So currently I run a Facebook platform called Spice It Up, and I've ran that for 3 years, and I use that platform to bring just not politics to Liberia, because most of our talk show hosts or people who use the social media our focus based on the happenings in Liberia, everybody's focus is just on politics and government. So I am spicing it up. I'm bringing spices of political discussion. I'm bringing spices of religious discussion. I'm bringing spices of, economic discussion. I'm bringing spices of youth development. I'm bringing spices of a whole lot of different things than just looking at politics, So that's why it's called Spice It Up. And as per political alignment, I hail from Unity Party, and up to 2020, I was still a member of Unity Party. And when I saw things different, that people refused to see that things were not moving, Liberia were being stagnated. So I decided to give my own study. And then I looked into the political field. I saw that there were people who were competent, people with good character. Some were coming forth in the political race and some were not. So I took a while before I made a choice. So it took me 2 years to study Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings and to know his character before I joined into the ANC. But before I came to the ANC, I was always engaged. One person I must give credit to, they say give a man his flower when he's alive. To Asha Kennedy. Reverend Asha Kennedy has been a big brother to me, and he's always spoken to me about the ANC. And I can call it in our Liberian way, he whipped my back, he really whipped my back. So he kept hitting on me that the ANC was a good place to be. And yeah, I gave it a thought for 2 years, and then I came to the ANC. So after I joined the ANC, I started engaging the youth, and I talked to Duke in the US. I've spoken to Emerick also, and I've talked to most of the brilliant lady in the youth, in the diaspora and also in Liberia. So I've been around with the ANC, not a regular face, but I like to do my thing from the background, So I've been around for a while. That's about 3 years also since the life of Spice It Up. I've been around with the ANC also. So I'm a family man. I have my parents back home. I love children. Unfortunately, I don't have any now. So I just do my own gesture for kids that I see that are in need. I also run a youth program that do research for youth opportunities. So we look for scholarships, we look for seminars, we look for training, vocational training here in the West and other places. And we give these opportunities to young people to, better their lives. Because when we all just look at Liberia and just watch the ABC can become president, probably he might just be president when Liberia is no more. So we have been giving back to Liberia until we can make him the president. So in that line, I have been doing that for young people. And I have a very brilliant young man I must give credit to. Right now, we're looking for his master's program. He's Ase Crusoe. He was there studying in India. And we have so many other young Liberians who are achieving from our programs and research. So that's for my own life. And here I'm living in Germany, as you all know. So that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. That's an impressive information for us. Before I let my colleagues to welcome you back on the stage, we want to say we want you to welcome all those that are following us right now on the Button Liberia. If you just joined us, this is the Button Liberia Special Edition. We're going to take you through tonight to tell you much about what's going to happen in Germany from the 8th to the 9th of July, where the political leader, the standard of ANC, Mr. Honorable Alexander Cummings, will be coming. We'll be telling you more about it tonight. That's why we have our guest tonight, God Toomey, to be telling us. And we want guys to spice it up. You got a lot of things. You have a lot of, you got a special meal on the board, right? It's been spiced. So you're going to tell her what you got for it. So, Judah Phi, we want you to welcome our guests. And also from there, we'll ask Paul to welcome our guests and take him through. Thank you, guys.
Good afternoon, God. And
Good evening from my end.
I want to welcome you, even though we've been talking. And it's a pleasure having you to tell us what is unfolding in Germany and how things going to look like. So on behalf of the crew, I want to say welcome.
Thank you.
Gus told me, welcome to Butterland, Liberia. This is where we don't eat crab with shame. We discuss the issue to the bone. And before we dive into this, we know there are a lot of issues to be discussed regarding what has happened today in Liberia as well. So we're going straight into the thing with Germany. So before we start, I would like for you to look at this flyer and take us through.
Okay, excellent. Just few seconds. Let me just send the link quickly to some of my guests. I mean, my followers. I beg your pardon.
Okay, so while doing that, and we can talk a little bit about this. I'll take it down where we'll go through is. So while Gus is doing this, Jamal, what do you think about the flyer and how you think the occasion will be like in Germany?
Well, I'm excited. I think I'm going to be out. My ticket is booked already. I'm going to be there, and we have a lot of people from Manchester. We already been rolling around to get people to come to Manchester. I booked my hotel. My ticket is booked, so I'm ready to go. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a fun and also serious matter where we will see the political leader tell us what he has for Liberia, and then we have the open discussion of Liberians. They'll ask him questions with regard to, is he the one that we can choose to take Liberia to another level? Can he deliver? That's what I want to see. And it's an occasion where you're being a political leader to Europe, where Liberians in the diaspora will see him and interact. This is one thing I love to be. So, it's going to fall on a big day for me. It's going to be a religious event on that day for me. But I've taken a chance to go to Germany because I want to be there. And that's going to be a big day. So I will be there. Definitely, it's going to be an exciting day for me.
Well. So, okay. If Gus, you ready?
Yes, I'm set.
Take us through this.
Okay, this is very excellent. Credit to the media team and all my able lieutenants who have supported this process. So here before us on our screen, we have a very nice picture of the nicest man in Liberia. And His Honorable Alexander B. Cummings. And it's clearly written there. You can see it with a beautiful smile. And it says here, a meet and greet, July 9th, a fundraiser dinner. But actually, this was one of the first flyer made. So this one doesn't carry all of the details. So I'm going to give you all of the details and things that aren't here on this flyer.
Okay.
So we all know ABC. He's from the corporate area and had decided to change the scope of operations in Liberia. Having said that, his engagement with Liberia has surrounded from the US, Canada, and other places. In recent time, Europe, we engaged and formed a formidable force in supporting ANC Global. So all of the countries in Europe has been contributing immensely, unlike Germany, which is a new member to ANC Global. So having been so friendly as other nations, European nations, they thought it wise to give Germany, their new baby, a good impression so that people know that the ANC is the best place to be. So our neighbors, our brothers decided to make us the face of this fundraiser. Any other country could have taken it. This is a complete distinction from other political institutions. This is how ANC welcome people. This is how Alexander Cummings has taught people to welcome people and make people feel at home at any place, anywhere you are. So Germany is hosting our standard bearer. And initially, we wanted the standard bearer to stay very long here, but due to schedule, we will only have him for a day. And the fundraiser is for a day. I want you to put the flyer back, please. The fundraiser is for a day. And this is one thing, Jamal, I want to say this. This is one thing about the ANC that people need to capture. Liberians seriously need to capture this. It's a fact that nobody can argue. Alexander Cummings, if I don't want to use if, but I'm a political figure, I will use it. I'm saying if he decides today that he don't want to contest for the presidency, his family will not suffer. his children will not suffer. Maybe his third generation or the third generation of his children will not suffer. He's lived a life, he's gathered the wealth, the resources to support his children and their generation. So he's not coming into this thing for wealth. He's not coming into this thing to take from the Liberian people. Instead, he's coming to give back to the Liberian people. So one thing he taught the ANC that I am seriously admiring and is encouraging all of the people standing by to practice is that ANC do not wait for Alexander Cummings to take money from his pocket. We give to the party, we make the party a standardized political institution. This is no other Liberian political party. This is a standard, international standard political party. So this event happening in Germany is going to be for a day. It's a fundraising event for our campaign and other humanitarian projects run in Liberia by the foundations and the political party. So it's going to be happening on the 8th of July. It's right there, and it's going to be in our political capital, Hanover, in the state of Niedersachsen. Germany has, we call it region, or you could call it states. We have 16. So we have North Westphalen, we have Niedersachsen, we have Bayern, we have Bremen, and so on. So it's one of the states, and we're having it in the capital, and it's Hanover. The event is going to be held in Hanover, and we're having so many activities. We're going to have the arrival of the standard bearer and his entourage. We're going to have a meet and greet, which of course we will have other stakeholders. I know very well the PR is going to be there. Jamal is going to be there. I know Fa is going to come, and Madam Emily, all the names that I hear, John and Orita, and all the other good people, you know. And I must give credit to the team manager. I have a team manager. I am just responsible for communications, media and communications. But I must give credit to the very strong, able lieutenant, Madam Faith Koutume. She's a general. I want to salute her for all of the efforts, you know. If it had not been for her ingenuity, her strength, the courage, you know, to bring everybody on board of this program, I mean, we just will be dragging behind today. But we are close to success of this event, and it's from her, it's from Honorable Stephen Carley, and it's from just all of us. All of you here, you know, has supported in different ways. So I'm giving credit to all of you for that support. And the 8th is going to be the event. We have meet and greet. We're going to have an indoor program. And the indoor program is comprises of a symposium, intellectual symposium, where we're going to allow people to have the time, you know, to quiz the SB. You can tell him things that you feel you want to share with him. We're going to have people that we organize different events and games. You know, we're having events and games after the symposium. But at the symposium is where we will engage, you know, the Liberian community here in Germany and in Europe. Because, I mean, the people are hungry. They listen to the name, they hear the name ABC, they want to see the ABC. I mean, they're giving their support, but they just want to see him. They just want to be with him. They just want to dine with him, you know. They want that experience. They're waiting for that experience, you know. So, yeah, at that event, at that part of the program, at the symposium is where people are going to engage in. You can come with your questions, all of what you want to say, you taught, that you've kept for the years, and you want to ask the honorable, you can present it. And at that time, people have the time to talk to him. He will have the time also to give us a gist of 2023, what is in store for us in 2023. And also probably he could be telling us when elected, you know, what are the achievables for Liberia, the youthful generation, and so on. How Liberia can change our transformation protocols and the ideas that we have. So at that time of the program is where he's going to let people know some of these things, probably. And after that, we have an outdoor event. And for the outdoor event, the honorable is going to be there with us. I mean, in every part of the program, in each and every part of the program, he's there with us. He's not leaving us till it's finished, you know. So the outdoor program, we're going to have barbecues. We're going to have like a mini picnic and things like that. We're going to have people playing games. We have you need to listen to some of the local adverts that cities are doing for themselves. And let me appreciate Martha Rogers, a very strong lady here in Niedersachsen, Hanover. She's doing well in the state of Niedersachsen right now concerning promotion. She's my assistant for media and communication. So cities right now are engaging each other on this event. I just learned this evening that some smaller cities want to merge so that they make transport easier for them, you know, so that they can commute easily. So for momentum, it's building up, and we hope to also improve and increase our electronic promotions, you know, because we're getting feedback from outside and we're waiting so that we can get these feedback. We also want it from those with the expertise. We're waiting for Moriah and other people to give us feedback so that we can do more before the event. So the outdoor program we're going to be having, before I complete the outdoor program, let me just come back to the symposium, the indoor program. So at the indoor program, we're going to be having the fundraiser also. It's like 2 in 1, the symposium and then the fundraiser. So after the intellectual symposium, then we have the fundraiser. Or probably, as planned, the fundraiser comes after the outdoor program. But whatever way for the day is going to run, we're going to have the fundraiser on the same day. And at the table, we're going to be having all of our important people, most of the VIPs from the US, from Canada, from Australia, and other people that we have invited. Our team, this team here tonight has invited. We're going to be having these people seated at the table and looking to support the man, the sea with vision for Liberia. It doesn't happen with any other political party other than ANC. It doesn't happen with any other political standard bearer other than Alexander B. Cummings. There haven't been anybody. All of them come with their money and they dictate to the people with their money. But he's coming with his money and he said, no, this is Liberia. We must help Liberia in the best way that Liberia can feed herself, Liberia can grow herself, Liberia can make herself. It's not for Alexander Cummings to make Liberia. When he make Liberia, he owns Liberia. That's why you see today, when people became president in Liberia, the first thing they tackled was to finish their little squatter residence they had when they had 0.80 million. You know, so Alexander Cummings is not going to do such thing. He's going to definitely help Liberians build Liberia. That's what he's going to do. Listen to most of the good things he said to people when he have the time to talk to people concerning Liberia. You should hear the complete wisdom of growth and development. It's not like the other people just giving rhetorics to the populace because they want to say something to them that interests the people. You know, most often that's how the politician plays on the people. So they come to you and they tell you, like for instance, an example, right? In my little community here, maybe there are homeless people. Do you know that the homeless people are suffering for maybe 3 or 4 things? They suffer for shelter, for food, water. So the politicians know these things. So they come to you and tell you, okay, that guy over there, poor, is not going to provide you shelter. I will provide you shelter. It's something you want to hear. So you listen to it. But when I come to you and tell you, look, I have an old sewing machine by my house. I can give it to you and you can sew brand new clothes and you can sell them and you will have money in your pocket. When you have money in your pocket, you can rent an apartment. Isn't that wisdom?
Right.
That is wisdom. So the people don't come with these kind of wisdom. All they come with is the regular package, recycle politics, and they bring it to the people. But that's not it. Let's get back to our discussion. So at the symposium, we're having people raising funds for 2023. And I'm going to tell you one thing. This thing I'm telling you, mark this today. All of the elections we've participated in, 2023 will be a different one. 2023 is not coming only with victory. It's coming with sufficient resources that ANC will not lack anything. The people are saying that they are firm for transformation. So even the market women in Liberia are willing to give their cents to ANC today. ANC, the youth had a dollar rally before, and we saw how much they were able to raise. And bulk of that money came from solicitations from market women. It did not come from the wealthy people in Liberia. It did not even come from the big businesses. The money raised came from just the same people we are fighting. I mean, when I followed the event, I mean, Jim, the platform for the youth is called Jim. My gratitude will always be with them. And Merrick and Duke, they are doing excellently well. When I followed that event, it took tears from my eyes, because I could see that most of the people, their expectations has been only for our political people to bring to them. But I'm proud of Liberians today that they are thinking different. And this is why we come sometimes to the ANC. We try to give our own support in different way, because we know that people on board will be different. We will be divided in ideologies. But at the end of the day, we have a common goal. So we're sticking to that plan. So
Right.
when we raise that fund for 2023 at that event, the next part of the event is the outdoor program. And the outdoor program is where you're going to see the simplicity, the humility that this man has. You're going to see it, and he's going to touch everybody. I mean, he's going to be like Jesus Christ on the Palm Sunday, because he's willing to do that for the people,
Right.
So
Okay.
the outdoor
So-
program is going to be everybody thing. The indoor program, the entire event is everybody thing, but I mean, the entire outdoor program will be full of different activities. That's why I call it everybody thing. We're going to have fun fairs, we're having games, we're having different kind of sports. And the cities right now are purchasing their jerseys. That's one thing, again, I need to give applause to all of the cities and their leadership. People who expect Alexander Cummings or the ANC right now, they will be expecting Brother Paul, they will expect Jamal, they will expect Far, they will expect Augustus Tumis to start shipping jerseys to them. But guess what? All of the cities are bringing their own set of jerseys and brand new. Where did the money come from? It's not from ANC. I call it ANC money because it's ANC people, but it's not from the standard bearer. That's how a political institution should be. So about the 8th, let me just break it halfway so that I can give you guys time, because I know you're preparing your bombs for me right now. So for the outdoor program, it's going to be a whole lot of activities different from the indoor program.
Okay. Well, I would say thanks for the intro and the information that you have given. Before the other guys come, because we're going half an hour now, so we'll still have time to dive into what happened in Liberia today, because I woke up and then when I came from work, I started with my Jack Daniel. I was so pleased. We'll talk about that later. But going forward with this program that is happening in Germany, people are complaining that they have not received information on hotels, the surrounding details. When those information will start getting out there, because I know a lot of our friends and families in the States want to come over too. When are those information will be getting out there to them?
Okay, that's a good question. And let me extend an apology to all of the people expecting all of this information that have not been fed. So as planned this week and midweek of next week is the latest for every information to be outside. So the public is going to have half or even more than a half of those informations for reservations. The event team, we're working, we inter-coordinate the activities. So we're working with the event team so that we can make sure when they lack any form of information dissemination, we can properly send down those information correctly. We can channel them correctly. So those information will be out very shortly. They're going to be out, And I want to say that hotel reservations also it's necessary to come from our event team, but also we want to also encourage people that you could do a search and let us know. Once you feed us with the information, then we help you make sure that it is a safe zone, it is actually closer to the event. It's necessary for you to reside there. It's necessary for you to book at this time. So before our information can come out, if you are able to do your own stuff and get it to us, we can help you just finish the arrangement for you. That's another way we can function to get it fast.
Yeah, thank you. Let me make a quick announcement before Jamal comes in and Brother Far. On tomorrow, Mr. Cummings will be in our midst. There's meeting tomorrow with the the entire Europe. So just want to put that in, that he'll be in our midst tomorrow, 7 o'clock GMT. That will be 9 o'clock Central European time. So we'll be having Mr. Cummings tomorrow, and we'll interact with him. I saw him dancing today after the court case. Well, he's going to tell us about that dance. So just want to put that in there. Jamal?
Let me just add up before Jamal comes. As per the information just provided, there will be a flyer also concerning the meeting tomorrow. So it's going to come up tonight. Okay. So that early morning people can receive it. Yeah.
I think it's Brother Mark Farr need to come in. He has some questions for the guests. Brother Mark.
God, I heard you, talk about a program in Germany. So my question to you here, have you people reached out to people outside the ANC, like other Liberians, other interest group?
Yes, sir. So let me just give a brief
and by what means have you people reached out to other interest group and Liberian community across Europe?
So that is one. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So that has been one of my concerns since I joined the team. That has been one of my concerns because I've noticed that the ANC has always tried to incorporate everybody or anybody, So I have spoken to the team that we need to do that, and we have been doing that. We've gotten some information that people are complaining, but in everything, people will complain. But the best thing to do is to listen to those complaints and don't counter them, because you need them the most, then they need you. So we've engaged some of those complaining, and I can tell you we've had a fruitful resolutions, and some of those people are going to be at the event. And not just at the event, but they're going to be playing some very crucial supporting roles. So it's a fact that we've not engaged some people, but when that information was reached, we started immediately to engage them. And all of the people coming with complaints has been satisfied with my own form of engagement. So we have communicated with a lot of people concerning the program. And for those communication have reached out to have not only been ANC members, like the invitees, the VIPs, the sponsors, not all of them are ANC members. And some of those that we are inviting to sponsor the program are even presidential aspirants. So that is how far we've gone with our engagement, making sure that we can engage people and let them come to a platform and see Alexander Cummings, engage Alexander Cummings, and let them hear if he's not capable of bringing them on our team. So those are the thoughts we've gotten toward the process with. It's not to leave anybody behind.
Okay, a follow-up, Brother Jamal. What are you people doing when it comes to, reaching out to other, talk show or media institution when it comes to publicity? And is the program going to be aired live or broadcast through in the media institution back home in Liberia?
Okay. This is one of the questions I wrote down myself, and I thought you wouldn't ask this question, so I wrote it down.
Come on.
I wrote it down as a question for myself. Okay, so as per your head on media and communications, it's under my purview to make sure that this occasion, this event is broadcast. If there is an internet connectivity in hell, it should reach in hell. And if there are signals in heaven, that this event should be communicated properly in heaven. So we've engaged several other platforms here in Germany, and we've engaged also other platforms in Liberia. So two of the most we've engaged, we've had fruitful discussions with them, and the KMTV has agreed to carry the program for us, and yeah, they will give us access. So they give you access to their portal, and then you carry it like it's KMTV, but it's you at KMTV. So that is how we channel it through KMTV, and Bell TV also is willing to carry it for us. But our budget, we're still working on the budget. We want to make sure that if we will use two of those big platforms, then we should be able to fit in, with meager resources. So we want to engage and see if we can just throw one blow and kill two stones. So we're still working with both of them, making sure that we negotiate prices. So those are the two platforms. But other links, other platform in Liberia, we know very well that we will also reach out to Spoon. We have communicated to them, and we're waiting for big hands also from ANC Global. Brother Paul is here, the regional coordinator is here. So yeah, as for platforms, we have sufficient. I am using my platform free of charge. I don't even need to say free of charge. I'm using it to also carry it live here in Germany and in Liberia. So I'm also using few other friends who have some good platform to also share with them, and they're going to carry it live also. But here in Germany, we've engaged just a newspaper, and the cost has been so high. So I want to use a teammate influence to see whether we can get some negotiation based on his influence. If it's possible, this week we should be getting feedback from him if it's possible, and then the paper will carry it probably a day before the event and then a day after the event. So that was the arrangement with the newspaper, and it's called NOZ. It's for Osnabrück newspaper. It's called Osnabrücker Zeitung in German. That's how it's called. Yeah. So, and I know the bottom line also will surely carry the program. And yeah, people following now, those in the US, in Canada, Australia, who has platforms. And if you're following, we want you to engage us. We want you to carry the program. It's your program. It's our program. So this is the first of its kind on our soil. And in my initial statements, I told you we wholeheartedly appreciate the welcome, the warm welcome we got from our member states. So with that, we want other international members to also form part of the same process, show us the love the same way. It is everybody thing, it's everybody business. So we want people to also help us in that line.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a good one. Thank you very much for those information. Now we still want you to take a little bit more detail of entrance fee. That's something we'd like to know. When you talk about Hanover, what do you expect? Like how many turnover in terms of audience? How many people showing up at that program? Are we expecting 200, 1,500? How many people we should expect? Give us some information, please.
Okay, so I'll give a brief history about Germany before I come to that, so that you know why we were not expecting 10,000. So I know after the Cold War, Germany, in their infrastructure development, they try to keep more land and accommodate the number of people they have. So in doing that, they built smaller houses, even halls are smaller. So the square meters of places are completely, you can understand that it's different from the UK, you can understand it's different from the US. Yeah, so but actually our expectation is to host 200 persons for the program, including our international guests. And you made mention of the prices, right?
In terms of entrance.
Yes, in terms of entrance. So what we are doing, the general, Cole Tume, Stephen Carley, Brother Paul Chilople, Jamal, Fa, Orita, John, Cheer, the rest of the people. We've thought it wise that we will engage our people because this is a fundraiser. It's not to just come and listen to ABC speak to you on what our achievables are, but it's for us to support to make those achievables a real goal and achievement. So we have sponsorships for the fundraiser, and sponsorship comes from VVIPs, VRP and VVIPs. So we've given that out, and then for our regular people, those participating, we were making an entrance fee of 20 euros at least, minimum. But the team has thought it wise that the 20 euros people are already giving back with sacrifices. Like I made mention, the teams are purchasing their own jerseys. Some are maybe over 200 euros for a set of jerseys and other things. So we took off $5 from there, and it's just going to be 15 euros. And a lot of people can afford that. Yeah. And then for the sponsorship, let me just give you a gist of that. So we have the VIP sponsorship, which is for 250, 300, but we had a deduction for 250. And then we have the second class VIP, which is going for 200, which was at 250. So it's going for 200. And then we have the regular. The regular goes for 50 euros, which was at 100. And all of these categories has privileges that they offer. So the VIP that pays the sponsorship, the VIP first class that pays the 250, gets the opportunity to sit at the eminent VIP table, the real VIP table where the standard bearer sits. So you have that opportunity to sit at that table. You have the opportunity to engage the standard bearer. You have the opportunity to our food, our drinks. And you can dine and you can wine with the VIPs. So you're not only engaging the standard bearer, you're also engaging your colleagues, VIPs seated with you, your comrades. So for the second class VIP, is just a little bit of difference. So you also have the opportunity to engage the standard bearer, but you do not sit at the same table with the standard bearer. So that is a different table, a set of different tables for the second class VIP. But it's very, very close to the VIP first class table. So you can sit, you can view the VIP, and then you also have a privilege to talk to him. There is a time interval in the program itinerary that is fitted for people meeting the VIP and meeting also the standard bearer. So because we know other people will want to also engage other dignitaries. For instance, Brother Paul is there, somebody haven't seen him for 10 years or so and they want to engage him. So they can also purchase a second class VIP table because I know Brother Paul is going to pay for his VIP and he's sitting right at the table with the SB. So if they want to talk to him, they also have to pay to reach to that standard. You know, life has stages. You are born, you grow, you get mature, you decline, and you die. So those are the stages of life. So we will not want to see it like a constraint on our people. We must make sure that our skin are thick coated so that when 2023 is over, then we all will not cry. We will just wait and sit back and watch development happen. So this is a learning process for us. you know. So
Okay.
that's for
So-
second class.
So
And
yeah,
for regular,
Yeah.
we also have some good things in store for them. So for regular, you have food, drinks, and you also have time to interact with the standard bearer. So in general, there isn't much of a difference, but the difference will be the name, the location you sit, and the time you get to talk to the standard bearer. So those are just the slight differences, you know, because we want to make everybody feel the same. So while you're there as a VIP and you have the time to talk to the standard bearer, I am here as a regular sponsor. I also have the same time to speak to him. That's for the regular.
okay.
Right.
Point
So-
coming in.
Yeah, you still got question to ask because regarding this, because the time is fast spent.
Yeah.
I need us to dive into something else.
Yeah, but yeah, this is very important because the whole event, we need to really get some questions with regard. That's why we want to talk about the development in Liberia, and it's important we got this very clear about this what's going on in Germany, and just a bit of what Tomi was saying, Mr. Gad was saying concerning the. I think the event in Germany is not creating a barricade for Liberians not to see Mr. Kumi, but since you have, I think you have an objective, that is, you want to introduce Mr. Kumi to Liberians in Europe. At the same time, you want to use it as a fundraiser. So the fundraiser, 250 euro, is about helping the institution to raise money. It's not a saying that we want to give the people who have deep pocket to sit with Mr. Kumi. I want that to be clear here. I think this is why you email, right? And the
Yes.
second thing we're looking at is Mr. Kumi talks to everybody. It doesn't matter whether you pay regular 250. We want to use this occasion to raise money because this is the once occasion. We're getting close to less than 20 months now for the general elections. So we bring him into Europe to see European, to talk to us, to tell us what he has for Europe, what he has for Liberia, what those in the diaspora, Liberians in the diaspora, are to benefit from ANC-led government. This is why we want to bring Mr. Kumi. We want to, just you said something about 250, 150, whatever the categories are in terms of sponsorship. It's about building the relationship with ANC and let Mr. Kumi tell us the vision and what Liberians will get when he gets there as the head of the country. Is that what you're making clear?
That is definitely what I meant.
So
That is
definitely we say we got two objectives. Mr. Kumi introducing Mr. Kumi to Europe, to Liberians in Europe. And the second thing, when use our occasion to raise funds for ANC. Is that what you're saying?
That definitely what I meant. That is
We
exactly what I meant.
we are not creating any division or honor supremacy on a class system, is it?
No, we aren't creating. That's what I said in my closing statement before I ended on the regular category. That's what I said. We are making everybody to feel the same. There is no form of distinction. There is no division. There is no class system. We do not create a class system in the ANC. If we had created a class system, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to talk to Alexander B. Cummings. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to also come over here at Bottom Line because Augusto Gatume is not the famous political name. Augusto Ga is also not the famous political youth in Liberia. There are more people there. So because the ANC do not create a class system, that's why you have me here today as your communication, media and communication head. So that's exactly what I meant. We are not creating a class system, but we are raising funds to support our process for 2023. We're raising this same fund also to support other projects, humanitarian projects. Mind you, the ANC as a political party runs as a political party. The Alex Foundation runs as a non-for-profit institution. So Liberians in Europe are supporting towards development in Liberia, not only through ANC.
Okay. Another quick
We will not create a class system where we try to support our people. It doesn't work.
Thank you. Another quick question before my colleagues come in is with regard to somebody in America, in Malaysia, want to come to attend the program. Who do they contact? What information do they gather? Who do you reach out to?
Okay, so Brother Paul, who you just put, please, I don't know if you have some of the other flyers share, could you just put the flyer up again so that I can make that clarity quickly?
Bear with me a second.
There was one flyer sent. There was one flyer sent with a very dark blue background.
No, I
with a
don't
nice
have that.
ABC photo.
It's not up here. Maybe I'll download it.
Okay.
Let me see. Go on. I will search for the flyer while you are talking.
Okay, so since we can't get that, I have one here. It's not. I'll bring it a little closer. So if you see here, the flyer. So where my finger is, you see like 4 or 3 different numbers are there. So all of the electronic information that we send out, they have communication means there. So what we did is, if I send it to you as a link, that's what I'm doing now. I'm working on that. If I send this flyer to you as a link instead of as a flyer, you're just able to Google because you see the link is there. So I'm creating it in a way when it comes to you as a link, you access this Google map. So it's also easier for people to access it and to also find hotels around this environment. But we have numbers there. We have the event team has a number there. The communication has a number there, and logistics has a number there. Those are the 3 major groups. So also, ANC Global, we are engaging you. You have been dealing with most of the people in the diaspora. So most of the stakeholders here, like you here now with me, we also want people to channel information through you that can easily get to us if they cannot reach us. But we are there. We don't know why people will not reach us. We are there. We're in most of the groups. We're sharing most of the platform, even the new one that are coming up. We will be sharing them again in almost all of the groups.
Thank you very much.
Mark?
Yes, to just add on as to Mr. Cummings coming to Germany, and which is not going to be the, first and last time coming to Europe as the SB of ANC and as a key politician in Liberia. So the intention was from the initial stage for Mr. Cummings to come to Europe, and the first of its kind among Liberian politicians to reach to people in Europe in the diaspora before, taking the presidency. It's going to be a continuous something. After Germany, we're looking forward to hosting Mr. Cummings next year, maybe in Scandinavia or somewhere else in Europe. So just to add on to that. And another reason is that there are thousands of Liberians that live across Europe, right? And they have family back home. And according to our constitutional structure, by right, we're supposed to be voting from the diaspora. But the law somehow, in one way or the other, the system is not yet set up to perfect that so that we in the diaspora could vote. So one of the purpose is that Mr. Cummings come to engage Liberia and sell his vision to Liberia in the diaspora, and they be able to talk to family and friends, convince them as to his vision and his aspiration as to moving the country forward. So that is one of the main reasons Mr. Cummings is coming, and how to, get other Liberians to engage and be family and partner with the ANC global organizations that are in all European countries, because many people don't know that we even have the ANC organizations in different European countries. So that's one of the reasons Mr. Cummings is coming. So I just wanted to add that on to the conversation.
Great. Thanks, guys. So we've gone to 1 hour already. So can we take the next 20 to 30 minutes and talk about the court case today? What have happened in Liberia? how ANC stand. What become of the CPP? Is there any CPP anymore? Are we going separate ways to campaign? So from what have happened to the government and all the political parties, that they assemble all of them on a one day and decision was made on one day. So I want you guys to think of this and what your thought. I will start with you, Jamal.
Yeah, thank you. Before you start to say what I think is, I want to first thank all those that join us tonight, if wherever you are, this special edition of the Button on Liberia. We were talking about the event in Germany that come 8th and 9th of July, the coming of the Standard Bearer Political Party. And those who've been following us on this line, thank you for sharing. And we appreciate and also appreciate our guest, Augusta Gartumi. And whatever we talk here tonight is about ANC, it's about Liberia beyond every one of us. I think for what I want to just straight to the point is, I've said it over this has been going on for a long time. From the start, if you follow some of our conversation, I said it's a bogus case. It was not going anywhere. It's just a matter that we wanted Mr. Cummings to kind of a little bit flesh his muscle with the international connection. I think that's why you and myself have been saying all along. Like, get the international community involved. You got a lot of contact. You're on the international. You're on a lot of international boards. The politics in Liberia, you need to be a tough guy. It's the dirty politics. You need to flex your muscle to see who you are. We have laws in the country, but they won't respect the laws. So what we've seen, I think, from the forensic report, that came with a lot of information that came to that. That's why I believe I may be speculating, but this is what my analysis is like. The whole thing that happened today with the Liberian Labour Party, Unity Party issue, the ANC case being dumped by the Supreme Court, all bogged down from somebody being talking behind the house. I mean, behind doors, closed door. This case needs to stop. You know how much the international community, like they suffer the sweat and blood for Liberia, for that war to stop. You can't carry back to that system again. So they're warning us. I think there are a lot of things will come out. You won't hear it. They're telling this government, look, you need to stop the nonsense. This country needs to move into different level. It's not about getting one man into court. And that is good. The good thing is Mr. Comey know what he wanted to do, and we know that it's going to happen this way. I mean, we're all happy. And I think I gave my brother, I don't want to talk too much, but I think that this case was a dead case a long time ago. And we have a happy ending. I hope we continue. We all live for Liberia. One thing I want to make it clear here, Paul. We can have differences. We need to live to argue as grown-ups and disagree and agree and stop becoming common enemies. This is not Liberia is all of us. If I disagree with Brother Mark or God's opinion, that doesn't make him my enemy. I should respect his opinion and stop my point and stress my point. But we will hate someone to the bone. I hate you going to some dual interpersonalities. That's what happened. It could happen. I saw a lot of dirty things happen in this court case and other things in Liberia. I can agree and disagree. I don't have to like Mike. We should work together. I should respect your opinion. That's what I believe. And that's why we should have that mind in Liberia. People will say, well, you said in Europe, enjoying a cold breeze, enjoying your chicken wings. You don't know what we're going through. We understand, but we need to system change from the issue, start from the bottom line. We should all learn to respect our values. If they respect ourselves, they'll respect us. That's why the change Mr. Cummings is bringing. That's why we all glued to Mr. Cummings. It's not like we like him. He's a principle-minded man, and that's why we support him. Which other will follow and listen what we are saying, Paul. That's all I can say about this case. We have said a lot about the case. For me, it's all said about. I just think we should move forward and make Liberia a better place for every one of us. Thank you.
So, Jamal, you're right. Before I bring in Brother Fad, there's something else that happened here today in Liberia. The Supreme Court came up with a decision that, so when me and you join Osusu, and then we sign agreement, and then if we have 10,000, I can run with your 10,000. It means that contract is no longer binding on the rules. So people who get married in Liberia now, I think they should start worrying because of today's ruling that you can sign an agreement and somebody just walk away from that agreement. Mark, what your take on this? That decision that they came up with?
Brother Paul, you are right in some, in some instance, I will agree with you when it comes to agreement, but this is a political issue. You understand? And Liberia as a country, has gone through a lot when it comes to unrest and how people take matter into their hands, okay? But one thing we should take into consideration is how did we get there? Okay. And the reason to that is that because our legal system in the country is kind of a gangstering, you understand? Because had the justice minister done his job properly, the first thing he would have set up a how do you call this, a private investigation or some kind of a committee to look into that particular case, you understand, before blowing things out of proportion. That's one of the problems with our system. Serena Seafor wanted to make name, wanted to be all over the place as to being doing the government a favor, but he forgot to know that he was dragging the country image into the mud, because whatsoever happened in Liberia, the international community is watching. And then two, looking at a character like Mr. Cummings, there's no way that Mr. Cummings was going to let that go without a fight, because this is somebody who fought 40 years building his reputation, and just for someone to come from out of the blue and try to tarnish his reputation, it's not just going to stop in Liberia. You got diplomats in the country, you got international organizations in the country, and they know who Mr. Cummings is. So that's one of the things I want to say. Serena Seafor, from the beginning, he did not do the country right. You understand? So looking at the whole thing, like Jomar said, thank God the case has ended. And what ANC need to do now is we need to re-strategize who we do business with. First of all, go into their background, how trustworthy they are. If they are reliable people, look at what they have done in the past as to the state of our country, their contribution to the whole mess that the country is in today, before we get into doing business with them.
Great. So, Ghost, so my question is, the CPP, is it still stand with the two parties that are in there, Liberty Party and ANC, or everybody go their separate ways from what we hold today? What you think?
I would just pick up from something Brother Far just talked about before I come to the question. Honestly, CFOS has brought us back our judicial system. In the last decade, ECOWAS and member states were looking at legal practitioners to come and join other member states to maybe improve or bring the knowledge from Liberia there. But I can tell you that in the next 20 years, that wouldn't be happening, because we have a very weak, a very lazy judicial system. So the law is knowledge and it's logic. So it was very simple. I can tell you that if you had taken the CPP case to a paramount chief, he would have given you this same verdict.
Yeah.
If you had taken it to a clown chief, he would have given you this same verdict. And what do I mean? The law states the burden of proof, it lies in the hand of the accuser. So if you told me that I stole your mark, who is to prove that I stole your mark? You accusing me, I should prove that I stole your mark? That was the very simple logic that CFOS and his people were making sure that government pays them more money, because every time they go there, he has something to achieve from going there. He doesn't just go in chambers for nothing. So it was very clear from the very beginning. Then let's look at the CPP. Why should there be a CPP? But I can tell you one thing. If you and I are not ANC members, Alexander Cummings will maintain a CPP. That is the kind of man he is. He has stood up and said, okay, together we can make it. And he is still not giving up that together we can make it. So even while the case was going on, he was still looking at them and telling them there is a CPP. But to tell you how cruel they are, they were not seeing there is a CPP. All they were looking at is, okay, we've done something and we make sure that this trap will catch. But I can tell you the truth, they were playing with another character. And I don't like people referring to his character and just pronounce it. You know, the pronunciation, you should add the S. He's not only just having a character, he has characters. He's completely different. So there was no way. But to the question, let me just get to the question, right? For me, I see a CPP. But for them, I do not see a CPP. You know why? Because shame and disgrace. Like man, when you disgrace him, he go far from you. Like Jamal said, our politics, you need to be rough. So right now, the shame is on them. The only way Liberian people will call for another merger in our political system is maybe when Alex Comey is going for his second term. Then they will go and gather their Bucos agreement again. Maybe they will come with DDD. They will not come with CPP this time around.
Great. So based on that note, do you guys think that the false charges that were put on Mr. Comey, should he sue Benina Ure, the accuser? What you guys think? Just a
Paul, before we go to that, I mean, as to if the CCP stands, because reading what my call sent me today, Jomar, and it tells you that, okay, the Unity Party is no longer part of the CCP, if you analyze that document, because according to the Liberian Constitution, even though this agreement was between 4 political parties, right? And the Constitution doesn't prevent any Liberian from exercising their constitutional right when it comes to association or in voting, you understand? So on that particular note, the Unity Party walk away from the CCP and they have the right to how they call it, vote, okay, or participate in a by-elections, senatorial by-election in Lofa County or whatsoever. So having said that, they are outside the CCP. Now, the Liberty Party is still part of the CCP. They had their internal problem, which they are about to settle, you understand? So in my own understanding, according to this document that I read, the CCP still stands, but without the LP and the Unity Party. You understand? Now, another thing is that if we go into like the agreement you're talking about when it comes to between marital status and XYZ, that is another matter by itself. You understand? So there are two different things put together here. But what I like about this thing is that, you know, our society have become so disgruntled and agitated, nothing makes sense. Even the wisest person from the great Roman time or the Greek philosophical time come to Liberia and try to make sense to people, you know, people with this tribalism mentality, this, how they call it, friendship or some sentiment attached to Jamar. Jamar can't do no wrong. Anything Jamar says or does is always right. So if our people only have some sense of reasoning, they will start to think that, okay, who break up the CCP? Because this CCP was based on the request of Liberian people. You understand? Liberian demanded, without the CCP, we cannot remove this We Are government come 2023. So Liberian people need to start thinking now, put on their thinking cap as to who destroyed the CCP and who does it benefit in destroying the CCP. Some people just don't want competition. They want everything to be spoon-fed. You understand? And that was not the construction of the framework document. So another thing is that looking at the Unity Party and looking at the ANC and the Liberty Party, I think the government, first of all, never wanted a CCP in the first place. So it's in the government interest that the CCP destroyed, because a united CCP is problematic for the We Are government. They got their own thing that is to unfold. They say when your friend house on fire, help your friend to put out that fire. But don't pray for your friend house to burn down, because when your house on fire, that man, he ain't get no bucket to come and help you because you watch your house to burn. and every material in your house got burned down. So where will you take something from to help you? So their time is coming. But having said that, I think the government accomplished their aim, which was to destroy the CCP, and the Unity Party is to be blamed. The Unity Party and the Liberty Party, and the LP. How they call it? The
ALP.
The so-called cult, or how they call it, Boy Scout group, ALP, right?
Yeah.
The ALP and the Unity Party, they are the one Liberian people should hold responsible for destroying the CCP and give the government what the government wanted, because the government never wanted CCP in the first place. But there is still a CCP with the ANC and the Liberty Party. And I hope they put their broken pieces together and move forward.
So my question was, should Mr. Cummings sue Benina Ure for defamation of character?
Definitely. I won't let that go. I myself. If there's a means to sue Benina Ure outside Liberia, I'll sue Benina Ure outside Liberia, not in Liberia. Because there are two things in the document that, if you read the document right, withdrawal and resign. And you can go to the Oxford Dictionary, you can go to the Cambridge, you can go to the, Collins, you go to the different dictionary. They will give you the same definition, the two words, okay? And you go to the other technicality, the razor from, the numbering system from XYZ number, you change the number to this and that. It just doesn't add up. But I, Mr. Cummings, I won't let it go. I will sue Benina Ure and all those that are involved, international characters. I will go after you people.
Great. So
I can tell you one thing, Mark.
Before you come in,
okay,
we got 4 more minutes to go. So let's make it brief, and then Gus.
Yeah. Mark spoke as a person who is agitated with the happenings. But I can tell you one thing, Mr. Alexander Cummings, I don't think he's contemplating on that. He's a different kind of person. I have viewed him to be a very mute person. And he comes with this meekness that I don't see in many Liberians. So if we were that type, 2 different governments has come, they would have implemented a TRC agenda or protocols or policies or plan or framework. People brought war to that country, killed our people, took us back. It's like other countries are thousands of years ahead of us, and we are just starting from 100 to go somewhere. So he's not thinking that way. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary. Honestly, it's right to do so that you can set a precedent. But at this time, he's looking at a different Liberia. When we have that Liberia, there will be a good legal system. People will be accountable for things. People will surely go to court, and you will have a court system that can tell people, look, you are wrong because you are a government official. We will charge you and we will send you to jail. But until then, we are paving the way. So I think he's going to be paving the way.
Gus, this thing of pushing things under the rug, right? Let us do it like this. Let's forget it. I leave my own to God. That's the difference between the Western world and the third world countries. You understand? We leave it to God. If the West were doing that kind of thing, if you go after somebody character in the West, okay, if you follow what happened between Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, okay, for defamation of character, it would have cost him his life. Nobody will want to sign him on. These things are important in society. You understand?
I can tell you one thing. That's a good point.
Okay.
But this thing, just listen to this. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Let me learn. You understand?
Okay.
And in Liberia, for example, you had the same thing between, brothers and brothers can fight, right? But my grandfather always told me that when you and your brother in a fight, be mindful of the words you use to your brother, because you don't take words back. if you know personal issue about your brother, for example, your brother got sickle cell and nobody else know, or he got some kind of a problem that nobody else know, and while in an argument, you state publicly, you put that man's secret outside. My grandfather said your brother can never forgive you for that. So people choose their words carefully. Like, for example, Musa Belete and Dylan, you understand? So people need to be taught lessons, guys, so that these things doesn't continue. Because it happened to Mr. Cummings today, who next is going to happen to? So what is Supreme Court going to do tomorrow? Other person should leave it to? So there come a time people have to set precedents.
That's right.
I'm not agitated, but you're talking from a legal and philosophical perspective, God.
No, I agree with you, but I want to chip in this point so that we can see if we can analyze it. With the scenario of Johnny and Amber, that's romantic relationship. And our relationship is political relationship that we have not fully established. So Johnny and Amber, they had it going. But right now, ABC wants to have this relationship with the Liberian people. And who are these people? The same people hating him today, they are not foreigners, they are Liberians. So he's teaching them something. When we dare, trust me, we will have a legal system. The lessons will be taught. But right now, like the way we are discussing the event, we don't want to lose people. Look at what's happening right here before us right now in the West. With Putin and Ukraine. They are here in the lion mouth. They can't take care of all the things they're doing. They can never go to him to say they won't do anything. They will be passing it behind like this. They will pass it. But they can't go to him. They know they are able. They can face him. You in the UK, you know your strength. You know your military might. They can. But at this time, they are considering a lot of things. And that is the same vein Honorable Alexander Cummings is considering a lot of things.
Well, the thing is, because the reason why I asked this question, he said he had built his reputation for 40 years. And for somebody to go behind him, he's not going to let it go. So my question is, now, Senate case was thrown out. Will he go for these people? But I think, in my opinion, Ben Nigeria need to be taught a serious lesson in Liberia. And if I were Mr. Cummings, I will sue him.
Brother Paul?
Yeah.
God, if I have your telephone number and I forward this document to you, if you read the wording, okay, the wording of Serena Cephas, and those things get in the newspaper, it damaged Mr. Cummings. Okay? Go by the wording, not the one you see on the television. Go by the wording that he used in the whole text. Okay? It damaged Mr. Cummings. He accuses Mr. Cummings as being someone fraud, but the Supreme Court has taken a decision so he cannot override the Supreme Court. So these things are not things to be taken lightly. They're where I'm from. Just go through the wording.
Maybe this will be my last comment, but can I speak a little bit of a wisdom here? Earlier on, in your own narrative, you said you knew that the government was doing this. There was not just a CPP thing. The government has fed in their people, their missionaries, to come and surely establish something. So they established the mission. The mission was to come, join our merger, and destabilize. So the same people that have come to destabilize, we expect them to produce facts against us. But instead, this was how it was planned. Instead of producing a fact against us, they are considering one thing. This is a character you don't joke with. So it was very impossible. I understand that's character. He had defamed the person already. But guess what? That particular thing can be used against him at any time. Because the records are there. It can be used at any time. The records are there. The facts will not be erased. I'll share my contact with you. The facts will not be erased. You can share that with me, but the facts will not be erased. And I believe at this time, if I was placed at the executive table to give pieces of advices, I don't think the character has been damaged. People still know, people still respect him, people still honor him. And one thing we need to realize is that this court case has not defamed Alex Cummings, but it had also defamed these crooks.
Definitely.
It had defamed them. It had tarnished them.
And I can buttress you with a biblical quotation, for example, like I said before one time on our show, that Joseph, okay, when his brothers thought they were doing Joseph harm by selling him, at the end of the day, Joseph turned out to be a king in Egypt, and that's how Israel survived today. And after the 2017 election, the ANC was a small party that got 125,000 votes. But today, everywhere across the country in the diaspora, Australia, China, Asia, South America, everywhere you go now, people know the name of Mr. Cummings. If our system was structured in a way that we in the diaspora could vote, the people back home, ANC, first of all, would not need, wouldn't need any other party to form a coalition with. Because you do a survey on the internet, for example, with people in the diaspora, they always 95, 80, 92. You understand? Percent of the people in the diaspora. And what does that say? Mr. Cummings is somebody, you know, the other day there was something I listened to on SKTV and through Steve Boley, right? They need Steve Boley, right?
Yeah.
On SKTV.
Yeah.
Okay. So he talked about the dual citizenship, that they have a provision in there that exclude Liberian in the diaspora from holding a ministerial position. I'm like, are these guys serious back home? You understand? So what do I mean by that? Because you got to go into history. Now, every great country, after whatsoever crisis that they went through, be a civil or some kind of disaster that made them to leave their country, and that country developed based on the people in the diaspora, the scientific knowledge that they acquired in the diaspora. The Germans today, after World War II, Germany was to ground zero. Okay, the people in the diaspora came back home and built Germany. The same thing with Japan. After World War II, Japan, the two bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Japanese, they came back home and built Japan. The Chinese, okay, in the diaspora, the Chinese went back home and built China today. The same thing with India. If we're talking about the IT, the Indians are number one. And I give you the next 20 years from now, India going to take over China when it comes to industrial technology. So
including medicine.
For people to sit in Liberia, look at Rwanda today. You think it's the Rwanda that left back home? They the one help Paul Kagame to develop, to transform Rwanda? No, it's the Rwanda that were in the diaspora. So if you in Liberia sit there because you want to sit on power in the legislature and you cut the people off from the diaspora, that's the scientific knowledge of the country that you are killing. So that I find that very disturbing. I'm like, what are you guys thinking on? But so what happened tomorrow to their children when they go to study, acquire their, degrees and stuff in the diaspora? Are they going to be cut off too? So Mr. Cummings, talking to Mr. Cummings on a few occasions, he's like, Mark, you people are the one in the diaspora. He's not referring, he's speaking in a philosophical tone. People in the diaspora are the one to come back and help with the local Liberian to transform this country. So it's not just about Mr. Cummings or people in the ANC. He's somebody who put a hand around anybody that come around. He's a father character. He's a fatherly figure for every Liberian. So those guys back home with their baggages of corruption, bad attitude, creating hardship for our children, molesting our children in the country. You see the grown-up man growing up with 18-year-old child or a 17-year-old child using late $10 to, because that child, the difficulties in the country, the old man is, Mr. Comey is drained down. Okay, when you look at things that happen in our country to the young children, you find a young person that's supposed to be in a technical college learning something, they can't go to school because you got a group of corrupt people, okay, embezzling millions of dollars every day in the country. And the same people sit there and they allow these people to cajole them to go against Mr. Comey, calling Mr. Comey's names. But as time passes by, Mr. Comey is going to be the Joseph and the David in our country. I can rest assured. I had dreams that I shared with you before, Paul. So let me let my brothers then come in.
Yeah, so based on our note, let Jamal come in and then we can wrap up this thing.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. May have been an excellent evening. Thank you very much. I would like to say a shout out to all those that follow us on this show tonight. This is a special edition of The Bottom Line Liberia. We based in Europe. We're talking about from the 8th to the 9th of July this year. Mr. Cummings will be coming, his political leader of the ANC will be coming to Germany. So we ask everybody to show up, to come and ask your questions. This is not about ANC, it's about Liberia in general. You don't have to be an ANC member. If you're in the neighborhood in Germany, Holland, if you had a chance, please come. We want to open our doors to everybody. We want to discuss Liberia in general. You have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Comey. We'll have an open mic. You will speak to him and ask your questions about him. And we'd like to tell, we can't call everybody name here. Those who have been following or who shared this show tonight, we want to say a big thank you to you. And also we want to say, before we give a parting comment to our guest, Mr. Tomei, we would like to say thank you for coming on the short notice. And Brother Fai, who is being in there in Sweden, always supporting us. And the man himself, who's at the throne, is RSC Paul Choloplay. So, Paul, I think we've gone to the time now. Before we would like to get the stage to our guest, Mr. Tomei, to tell us what is the parting comment tonight.
Okay. So bottom line, family, I say my heartfelt appreciation. And to the ANC family, again, I say thanks for all that you do for ANC and for the Liberian people. And to the fans for bottom line, to the followers of Spice It Up, to all of our good people in the diaspora, I would just want to say thank you and give us your support, and we depend on your support to make everything a success. So we're here to work. We are your servants, and we are serving. So have a pleasant good night from my end.
Great. Thank you for being our guest here tonight. And it shouldn't be the last time having you on this program. We'll get you back here as time gets closer for you to update us. And I want to make the announcement. We'll have Mr. Cummings tomorrow. We're having a meeting in Europe for the entire ANC members in Europe. So the flyers will be out tonight, and we hope everybody take upon their time tomorrow to join us, and they have a cocktail discussion with the SP, because he was jubilating today. I saw him dancing from the courtroom to his car, so he will share the good news with us tomorrow. So I will say thanks everybody, and to our listening audience, just follow Bottom Line. Click on follow, so every time we come on, it alerts you. So I will say thanks. It was fruitful discussion, and we shall be back here next Tuesday with our host, Mr. Linford Guel, who couldn't make it today, but he'll be here on Tuesday with us, our sister Andrea Jallo. So I would say shout out to all of you guys. Guys, hope to see you again. And this is how we're going to leave this show, to say bye to everyone.